Inside Running brought to you by Winning Rupert, whose progeny continue to excel on the racetrack. To get that winning feeling, find Rupert at geiselpark.com.au.
Cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back to Belmont. Sunny day for it too, a top of 16 degrees, just some light winds northeasterly through the course of the day. Inside Running time. Good morning, Darren McAullay.
Matt, have you got me there nice and loudly and clearly? Technical issues have dogged me in the last 24 hours. But anyway, we're absolutely on song right at the moment too. Good to see you here once again and welcome everyone to Inside Running. Well, the return to Belmont Park back in May proved to be a false dawn, but it certainly has dawned beautifully for the second coming of the winter season there. And it's a big day too, the Belmont Classic card, of course, and looking forward to that there. The 3-year-olds doing battle, particularly the very nice filly that's emerged so far through the season, the Belmont Oaks winner. Fancy Red takes on the Aquanita Stakes winner Arcadia Park, and they're the two that have been the centre of most discussion through the course of the week. To discuss things in much more detail, Digby Beacham and Taylor Courtland TC in the house today, filling in for Scotty Embry. Good morning to both of you there. Beautiful conditions. We certainly do get the rub of the green for our return back to Belmont Park today.
Yeah, once you scrape the ice off your windscreen and you get to Belmont, looked nice up there in Broome, Darren. Looked a lot nicer up there than it was down here yesterday.
It was a nice day. It was a little cooler than normal. They had a fair bit of rain on Friday night.
So just 32.
I was only 24 there yesterday.
Oh, shocking.
Yeah, it was on
Terrible.
the cool side.
Not sure how you survived.
It was a good day there for Diggers' Dad's Day.
Diggers' Dad's Day.
Ronnie Beacham, the Cable Beach Caravan Park Cup, the most overworked washing machines in WA. Digby.
Good morning, Darren. Good morning, TC. Matt.
You love
listeners.
those washing machines, don't you?
Not as much as him. Great to be back at Belmont today. Long overdue, it must be said. So let's hope that we have an incident-free day, because we've been away from winter headquarters for far too long. And we've got a good card there today, and let's hope that all horses get their chance.
Okay, we see Grant and Delana Williams return a couple of nice ones to the track, Yorga Pride and Eccentric Nature. Later on in the card as well, they're going to have a big following, those two horses, on how they schooled up there in the trials recently.
Yeah, and both of those races look to set up pretty well for both of those horses. There's plenty of speed. They look like they're going to sit midfield, and look, we've probably over the last couple of weeks tried to find those horses drawn wide, getting to the outside fence, but I think today at Belmont, I don't think there's going to be any issue if you're sort of drawn low on the fence, up on speed. You should get your chance from everywhere in the field, provided the races run to suit you.
They got through the track gallops and then the subsequent 3 trials earlier this week without any issues whatsoever. There will be a certain look to that section where they've remediated the track, and the texture of it will be different to most other parts until, of course, much later in the spring when they get some proper growing weather, no doubt. But Diggs, at least encouragingly, it has gone from a soft 7 to a soft 6 this morning.
And look, it is very, very fresh outside. I'm not telling the industry participants anything they don't already know, but it has dawned a beautiful morning, and it's going to be a lovely day. Now, the rain is expected to come tomorrow, but that track was an 8, then a 7, now a 6. It could even improve to a 5 by later this afternoon. So let's hope that is indeed the case.
Okay, they won't have any such issues up there in the Pilbara, of course, with the running of the Tab Touch Roeburn Cup today too, which will be fully covered. Tab Radio Racing and Sport.com, and also 7 Plus as well, I think, might be covering that meeting today. And it's a really good battle there too, a dispute for favouritism between Falcon Trader, Zadar Rock, who's been in fabulous form, Asymmetric as well, last year's Broome Cup winner, and of course the Harding Cup up there as well today. So a big day. Good luck to the Roeburn Club, and no doubt they'll have a huge crowd in attendance for their meeting, which will get underway at 1:17. Let's go to the changes for Belmont Park, and we're opening with an amended time of 12:58 for the Tab Touch Have You Got the Touch plate, over 1,400 metres, and the first of the dominant favourites for the day will step out there. Danny Morton's emerging 2-year-old King of Light. No scratchings to race 1. As mentioned, fine soft 6, rail 4 for our return. Race number 2 on the program, the MCA Polytrack Handicap. It is clear of any alterations. We go to race number 3. And this is the Morley Growers Market Handicap. Scratch number 6, Real Deluxe. Race 3, number 6. To race 4 on the program, the listed Belmont Classic, the feature. And here we have just the 7 to do battle after the scratching of the filly Kimberley Rose. Race 4, Kimberley Rose, the runner-up in the Belmont Oaks out there of the Belmont Classic. Race 5 is the Key Clean Handicap. Underway at 3:30. It's over the 1600. Number 11, Ancient Guidance, is the one withdrawal there. Race 5, number 11. Race 6, the Lawn Pride Australia Handicap. And here down at the bottom, Regal Statue and Catch the Red Eye 14-15 are the 2 omissions out of the second leg of the quadrilla. Race 7, the Glenroy Chaff Handicap, and another of Mickey Grantham's horses has been withdrawn, Antique Queen. Race 7, number 10. And in the last event of the day, we've got the scratchings of 8 Frappuccino from the Drummond Golf Handicap, and also Michael Grantham's Antique Star. Diggs, any news there at all in regards to Michael's scratchings of a few of his runners today?
We spoke to Mickey G yesterday, re the Hour of Power, so there's been a bit of movement since then, so hopefully all's okay down there.
Yeah, he's lost about 3 there for the program for Bob Peters today that aren't running, but they are the list of the changes. There are no alterations to the jockeys list. It's 12 minutes after 8 o'clock. Matty McDermott, I think we'll take a break on our return back to Belmont Park and head back with a look at the card and hopefully a winning start to the day.
Welcome back to Inside Running for Winning Rupert, standing at Geisel Park Stud for $6,600.
It's 8:15, this delightful start to Saturday, and the Belmont Classic card we're going to open up at 12:58. And of course the football on there today, the Derby home game for the Fremantle Dockers up against West Coast, so no doubt there'll be a lot of people getting along to Optus nice and early, a few possibly taking in the action at Belmont Park. And this is over 1400, the first event. The impressive winning debut of King of Light has seen it a dominant favourite in this opening event. Matty McDermott sitting around $1.38.
In from 180, 14 out from 9 at Boza Lad, back chatting 31, out to 650 Radiant Light, Angel's Point 91, 26 Fat Chaps, Vatican Storm 18, 51 Beyond the Limits, Pony Ups at 16, $10 for Media Club, and Binky's War 21.
Well, Diggs, TC, very impressive on debut, it has to be said, but gee, is it $1.38 pop? Is it a tip no bet race?
Oh, at that price, absolutely, unless you want to run him through your multis, but I think he's different gravy to his opposition today, to be brutally honest.
Yeah, he does look a nice horse. He trialled up very, very well. We documented that barrier trial on the morning that he was to start there, and just how unlucky he was in the trial there, but he came out and he certainly showed his real ability there. Once he was able to get around them, most impressive, charging home from last, and you couldn't have been happier any more than what we saw there that day.
No, exactly right. Second was Aberdeen Fly. Aberdeen Fly's a nice enough horse. Bannard was third, and then fourth was Fiery Spark, who's already sort of franked the form last week, running really well, dropping back to the 1,000 metres. So, look, the only sort of negative is he's probably going to get back last again. Might need a little bit of tempo, but should still be good enough to win King of Light. Certainly a tip no bet race for me. Number 1 on top to beat the 4 Radiant Light. Looks like the step up to 1,400 metres. Looks a real positive. Would probably tip this horse in any other race. Unfortunately, just runs into a nice one. The 10 Media Club I thought was good on debut. The blinkers go on. And then number 9 next best. I'll throw in for a little bit of value trying to find something in the trifectas. First 4's Pony Up. I think the start, the performance 2 starts ago over the 1,400 metres was pretty good and should be up there on speed. 1, 4, 10 and 9 in the first.
Okay, those numbers I think are going to have a certain ring about them, Diggs.
1, 4, 2, 9, not much more to add. King of Light looks a standout from 4 Radiant Light. 2 Boza Lad was 5th behind Buckle, then came out and won. We know that's been a decent form producing race, so going along nicely this colt. And 9 Pony Up, who I thought, comes out of that race behind King of Light. Good gate, should be there and thereabouts throughout, but King of Light, a standout, 1429.
Okay, we are indeed enlightened in the first event. King of Light, Radiant Light, very popular Quinella it would seem. Down to 10 Media Club like you there, TC, for those reasons, and Vatican Storm is my fourth pick. Whilst it ran ninth, it never ever saw daylight whatsoever. The Playing God newcomer to racing there that day, and it might be better than that run would suggest to you. But King of Light, very short, $1.38, and I guess Willie will be keen to get one on the board as well. Sets himself up for a busy weekend as he tries to win the Australian Jockeys Premiership there, and it was a lean old day Thursday. They had him down about $1.06 to ride.
Yeah.
Win the Jockeys Premiership. He went home with a donut. Cat got home with a sore backside when Willie got there.
Yeah, exactly right. It didn't pan out the way he would have liked, but he's got a decent enough book today. He heads to the Goldfields tomorrow, and I dare say he'll be active again midweek on Wednesday at Belmont.
Yeah, the WA riders certainly at the very, very cut and thrust of these premierships. As we mentioned there on Wednesday, Tash Faithful leading the provincial country premiership as well. She's doing a super job, and Willie, of course, as far as the National Jockeys title is concerned, and every other title going around there currently. All right, that's our look. We're all King of Light to open up the day. Matty?
1, 4, 2 and 9 from Diggers, 1, 4, 10, 9 from TC, 1, 4, 10 and 7 are max numbers in the opener. At 1:38, the MCA Polytrack Handicap, 1,400 metres all in, and 26 Cold Shizzle. Hell I Am is at $8.50, $8 from 9 Cool Memory, Savage One's at 14, 460 into 390 Sunny Honey, above the peg at 17, 26 Emerald Trader, 71 Kerman Rock, 51 Success Play, and 220 now into $1.95 Supernatural.
Okay, race 2, second odds on favourite there, Adam Durant's filly Supernatural. Stays on the minimum here, comes off the back of a 66-plus win on heavy ground down at Bunbury. Gee, it was a dominant victory. They relished the 1,400, handled the ground, TC.
Yeah, she's racing in really good form. She was really good 3 starts ago behind Desert Whisper over a distance that was probably unsuitable, the 1,000 metres. Look, 2 starts ago made good ground behind Want a Winner. I think the interesting fact there, though, is Sunny Honey did beat her home on that occasion and gets a positive weight swing, Sunny Honey. I've gone with Supernatural, but I think she's a little bit too short in this market for me just at the moment, just based off the fact that Sunny Honey has beaten her home already this preparation. Having said all that, though, I think the way this race sets up with the speed, you've got a Savage One might push forward from out wide, Cool Memory, Success Play can go forward, Sunny Honey will be there somewhere. That's without mentioning Kerman Rock. I think she'll just stalk the speed, and with that lightweight, we know what sort of turn of foot she's got, and she'll be hard to hold out.
Okay, Diggs, what's your view there in regards to this filly?
Yeah, very much in the corner of TC. One thing with her, and I love about her, is she's just genuine. Like, she gives you everything she's got every time she sets foot on the racetrack, and that was evident on heavy ground the other day. Now, she carried 54.5 kilos on that occasion. That was a 66 plus, so she does drop half a kilo today. She's on the minimum. She stalks the speed, rock hard fit, yards going well. William knows her. I can't see any reason to tip around her. Do I want to play her at that price? No, I don't. I think Sunny Honey is the beneficiary of an excellent gate today. Was good behind Woob and Gold. Didn't get a lot of luck on that occasion, but I thought those were the 2. Hell I Am, again, luckless last start. 1,400's probably as far as he wants, but he gets the claim of Chanel, so 1 kilo off the min after that claim should get an economical run, and I thought Cool Memory could come across from that gate and ride the speed, but quite keen Supernatural, 10, 5, 2 and 3.
Okay, well, yeah, they're a very nice set of numbers too. I agree with you there. I think that when you look back at the day, the Want a Winner race where Supernatural ran 5th and beaten home to the line by Sunny Honey there, her numbers were far, far more impressive at the back end of it there, 1,200 metres, and here we are at 14. Sunny Honey's super consistent, but just hasn't found the winners list for a year. So you know what you're going to get, and nicely drawn this afternoon. But I think echoing Diggs' sentiments here, it's 10 and 5, 2, and Cool Memory, who goes to the 1,400 metres, will build through the prep, given the fact that it has 1 or 2,000 metres, no doubt. That's our look at race number 2, and we're unanimous in regards to Supernatural, Matt.
So Mac and Diggers, 10, 5, 2 and 3. TC, you were 10 from?
5, 2 and 3.
All right.
Nice and easy.
Excellent. Let's go to race 3 then, shall we? At 14 after 2, the Morley Growers Market Handicap over 1,200. Number 6 is out. Amaru Star is at 7. 11 into 9.50. God's Gate. Lucky I Am. 3.90 out to 5.50. Now back to $5. 14 Main Act. Yorga Pride at 2.70 from 3.80. Down to Battle Commander 31. 3.70 Snow God, Alma Mater at 51, 41 for Lipstick Jungle, and at 61 Think Like a Winner.
TC Diggs, I like this race. It's a good one too. Sets it up beautifully. Yorga Pride we see back and only tasted defeat once in 4 runs, but bumps into a very much informed Lucky I Am, who's won 4 of its last 5. A very fast filly who's certainly handling these conditions through the winter. You've got Snow God back second up after running down at Bunbury and bumping into Terra Tiff on return. Very good performance there that day as well. Amaru Star didn't get any real favours last time around. It's a race that certainly contains a little bit of quality, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the scratching of Real Deluxe, I think that enhances the chances of Lucky I Am. I think God's Gate from that draw is probably a beneficiary.
That's a big scratching.
Yeah, absolutely. Due to the speed, the race was going to set up beautifully. I thought for Yorga Pride, still the tempo is going to be on, but it just takes a little bit of that pressure up front out of the race. Interesting Snow God, they go to 1,200 metres off 7 days. First up, no trial at 1,000. Couldn't have done too much more first up. I thought it was really good last week. Just that setup straight to 1,200 metres off 7 days on the back of a first up effort without a trial, Diggers. I thought he was one horse I couldn't get a handle on in this program. I've sort of taken a set against him a little bit.
Terrific run, fresh, no doubt, but that was off no trial. And you're right, now we see him here again from a tricky gate in a race where he doesn't look like he's going to get anywhere near the speed. I wouldn't have thought. I tiptoed around Snow God.
Yeah, I like him as a horse. I think that he's a really serious talent there. I just wonder if in the back of David's mind he needed that without the barrier trial, and he got through it and pulled up well through the run. So maybe that's the possibility why he is there.
Is it also a case, last chance to get some West speed?
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to try and milk it for
maximise
whatever you can.
Absolutely.
Towards the end of the season, and we hit a new season of racing through the course of the week. So there is that prospect as well. I settled on Yorga Pride there. I thought it was a really good trial, and she's already got that sort of form on the board. She's got wins against her name, 3 of 4, only defeat coming in the Breeders, and in a very good lineup behind London's Image. I think that Snow God has got serious talent, and dependent on pattern, I suppose, for the day, if he'll have the ability second up to get around them and make an impact late. I'm predicting that he probably will, and you can't fault the way that Lucky I Am's going at the moment too. Chanel's riding in terrific form. Amaru Star I thought might have been the 4th best of them, 5, 8, 3 and 1, but I think it's one of the early highlights in the first half of the card.
Yeah, looking forward to the race. I've gone with the 5 Yorga Pride on top. All the reasons you've mentioned there, Macca. That trial was the second fastest of the morning. I thought she was really good. She was really strong late. Third in that trial was Worcester, so you can get a sort of a guide. That horse wasn't too bad during the week, so that forms Frank to an extent. Next best I thought was the 3 Lucky I Am, who now is the beneficiary, as we mentioned. Is a little bit of that pressure coming out at the top end of this race. Should be able to find the top, and doesn't look like showing any signs, despite deep into her preparation, that she's slowing down at all. 1 Amaru Star needs to tick the 1,200 metre box here today, and then number 2 God's Gate, next best for me. Good winner, and the format of that race last start has been pretty good. Simply Thinking's won since. Uncle Jared's been placed twice since that effort as well, so the form's standing up. 5, 3, 1 and 2. Left out Snow God. Hopefully don't end up with egg on the face.
Yeah, okay. And yours is down the order with Snow God as well, Diggs, from what I can gather. Are you a Yorga Pride Lucky I Am fan?
I am.
Or is there something else that you might like in the race?
There's something else I like. I think you're getting a really good price for God's Gate here. The scratching of Real Deluxe allows, I would have thought, Lactar to be nice and positive out of the gate and come and sit outside Lucky I Am. He's 13 back to 12. You know he's going to be strong at the back end of 1,200 metres if required. Lucky I Am will march them. I just thought this was a terrific opportunity for horse map-wise, and you're getting $9.50 to find out. So Yep, God's Gate on top from 5, Yorga Pride, for all the reasons you two boys have outlined. 3, Lucky I Am, she's going particularly well. Love the claim. She'll ride the speed and she'll give a kick. And 8, Snow God. But yeah, I thought God's Gate, if they show in 10 out of the gates, can give you a really good sight. 2 each way from 5, 3 and 8.
He is some value there, and he's one of a number of 3-year-olds that have been able to meet the older horses in the back half of the season and beat them. And that's been a bit of a hallmark of the last month and a half or so of racing, where these 3-year-old horses with ability do take the older horses on and beat them reasonably comprehensively. God's Gate has been one of those. So it goes in as Digger's value pick in the race, Matt. So interesting affair. Good race, the third. We'll take a break very shortly after you've recapped those numbers. When we come back, we'll take a look at the Belmont Classic.
Yorga Pride is the selection from TC number 5 to beat 3-1-2. Diggers is with 2. That is God's Gate ahead of 5-3-8. And Mac is with the Yorga Pride number 5 ahead of 8-3-1.
Welcome back to Inside Running for Winning Rupert, standing at Geisel Park Stud for $6,600.
You told me lies, but I can't stand to say goodbye. Mama, I'm coming home. I could be right, I could be wrong.
Nice to share this Saturday morning with you all as we preview the Belmont Classic on our re-return to winter headquarters. And it'll get underway at 3 o'clock today, the listed feature. Minus number 7, Kimberly Rose, the runner-up in the Belmont Oaks, won't be there this afternoon. It sets it up for a very good clash. Fancy Red, Willie Pike on board. Teams up with Adam Durant. Oakland Park, they did exactly the same in this race with its closing in 2 years ago. And we sat here a couple of weeks back and suggested that Fancy Red was no, it's closing in. Did our views change after going to Bunbury and witnessing what she achieved in the Belmont Oaks? Or are we going to stay with Arcadia Park, who ran in the Aquanita and won very well? Let's first of all take a look at the market, Matt. Tab touch. How does it look there between these two?
Arcadia Park is at 245 from 265. Leno open 850 and got out to 11, back into 10 now. 34 aces to win. Boys light up 41. 23 Royal Trooper. 260 into 195 for Fancy Red. We skip over 7 out, and 8 Lillian is 15 into 850.
Well, she is the fancy for punters, with the market then into a shade of odds on there. On that particular day, Diggs TC, Fancy Red ran about an hour and a half after Arcadia Park's victory in the Aquanita, and the track at that stage certainly was playing heavier than when Arcadia Park had run, and yet she was still able to come out and run more than 6 lengths faster than what the Colts and Geldings did in that earlier race. Diggs, what was your view? What do you think of the performance, given the fact that she had to step from 14 to 2,000 metres? It was a huge performance.
Terrific, yeah, really good. Look, Kimberly Rose had a bit of a torrid run in that race, and William just sat back and was able to pick his way through, and she let down powerfully. It was a dominant win in the end, 2.5 lengths. We've spoken about this yard and their ability to keep horses up for what seems an eternity, TC, and she's been going back to work each and every week for a long time now, but she shows no signs of tapering off, and if she's anywhere near what we saw a fortnight ago down there at Bunbury, she's going to take some stacking today.
Yeah, exactly right. That, you know, she was probably entitled to win the way she was. She sat back and smoking the pipe while they were going hell for leather out in front. Showlass has subsequently run okay in a Class 3. Even Annie Warbucks, who was beaten 10 lengths by Fancy Red's, come out, albeit in a Class 1, but has placed. So the form's holding up to an extent there. It was a little bit of a balancing act. Do you take on board how much quicker the fillies went, or the fact that I think Arcadia Park beat a much superior field to what Fancy Red did?
Well, that could be argued. We said
clearly
that
it's a horse race, so the faster you go, the better.
Yeah, it was the arrogance of it that more than impressed me, as well as the fact that, you know, she was stepping out off that 1,400 metre victory at Pinjarra Park, and then had to go to 2,000 on the heavier ground and do it the way that she did. You know, she carries a kilo less than she did there that day. He'll carry a kilo more. Look, I just think that whilst we all thought that she would probably win that race, I didn't think that she would win it as comprehensively, authoritatively as she did. And I think she'll probably go around today and justify $1.95. I'm going to lock her in ahead of Arcadia Park. I don't think there's too many others here, not unless we can see Lillian step right up or Lano maybe continue its sort of evolvement, the way he's going along there for Ash Maley. But I'm 6-1, then 8. Lillian didn't give up.
Nope. I
thought after covering a bit of ground there in that Belmont Oaks. So she's clearly my third pick, then Lano. 6-1-8-2, Digby.
6-1-2-8, not much more to add. I think Fancy Red gets a wonderful opportunity to win 4 in a row and go back-to-back in black-type races, TC.
I'll try to be a little bit different. I'll put Arcadia Park on top. Look, he'll control it out in front. Fancy Red's going to be within striking distance. I think they'll fight it out. 1 to beat 6, 2 Lano next best, and then 8 Lillian. 1, 6, 2 and 8.
Okay, some say you don't have to try too hard to be different. TC, you are.
No, that's one of my greatest qualities.
Real strength. Matt.
1 is the selection from TC to beat 6, 2 and 8. Diggers with 6, 1, 2, 8. And Mac is with 6, 1, 8 and 2 in race number 4. The 5th at 3:30, the Key Clean handicap over 1,600. 11 is out. This is the opening leg of the quaddie. 26 Kisses from Kelly. Famous Dane 4 to 380. So War 31. 750 to 7, Stylish Lord. Great Fortune is 7 into 440. I Dreamed a Dream at 61. 440 into 390, Arcadia Knight. Cherry Can Run 17. 18, Alaskan. Odinaka 31. 11 out, 12, Bellini Miss 19. And 17 into 11 for More Than Enough.
Who has been the target of some backing early, 17 into 10, More Than Enough early on in the betting. Certainly a very interesting target for More Than Enough there in that particular race. Interesting race, this one. I found it challenging to get a handle on it, to be honest. Famous Dane with Willie on board. Arcadia Knight featuring prominently in the market. Great Fortune with very good support. Didn't get all that much luck at its first run back in. And More Than Enough also is the centre of plenty of punter attention, TC.
Well, I thought Famous Dane would be awfully hard to beat. I thought he looked one of the better bets of the day at the price for mine at $3.80. If you look at his form around 1,600 metres, his preparation, and take out the form over it a little bit further, where I think we're working out sort of 1,700, 1,800 might be on the limit. 3 starts ago, over 1690 there at Bunbury, was able to beat Lord Gannicus, who's franked that form since in a really tough effort. Last start had to carry 60 in a graduation and ran second to Lano. Now drops 2.5 kilos, gets gate number 1 and gets the services of William Pike, where I think Pike can probably stalk Great Fortune. Great Fortune under these track conditions, whether or not he's going to be at his best today. That was my question mark. So I thought Famous Dane might be able to get the first crack at going past Great Fortune, and from there might be able to hold on for a horse that is really adept in soft ground, 1,600 metres. As I said, Pike's on. Gate 1 should get every possible chance.
Yeah, I saw it a bit more evenly than that. I found it a bit of a challenging race to, I guess, come out with any great level of conviction. I do rate Famous Dane in it, but I think that there's probably 2 or 3 others that have got undeniable claims, and they're all in that sort of money range. And I think there's even maybe a potential upset that could come through it with the way that she's going at the moment. Cherry Can Run is, I think, at $17, maybe a little bit of overs, the way that it's been monstering the line lately in those races, behind the horses like Tracana in good form, Supernatural as well. It's a bit of value in the race. Diggs, how do you see it? Are you as, sort of optimistic as TC?
Oh, look, it's an interesting... I actually had Cherry Can Run on top a couple of weeks ago down there at Bunbury. She ran well. The improving track has seen me switch here. I was keen Arcadia Knight when acceptances were taken on Wednesday morning, and we had that sort of bleak weather around, and as we've learnt this morning, we're up to a 6, and with this weather outside, as much as it is cool, it is sunny, and we could be even improving throughout the course of the afternoon. Therefore, I thought Arcadia Knight might not be getting the conditions which he flourishes in. So I've actually sided up with Famous Dane from a map perspective. I think those horses who are going to be close to the rail today should be suited. And Famous Stone, rock hard fit, doesn't mind a little bit of give in the ground. He's probably going to get the conditions which he enjoys the most. So I went the way of Famous Stone. Then I still think Arcadia Knight's a threat.
Well, he's won more races on good ground than he has on rain-affected ground.
Yeah, but look at him on heavy. And that day when he won, fresh too, not deep into a campaign, fresh, over 1,400 on a bog, and he gave them windburn.
Yeah,
so
I wonder if did it take something out of him and impacted his second up run? Did it leave him flat? They can do that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Like I've got him in for second. I think So was going okay. That first up effort was behind Lord Danicus was devoid of any good luck. He was a big quote, don't get me wrong. So I think he represents a little bit of value and great fortune who can ride the speed. Look, I just thought Cherry Can Run was perhaps more in the corner of Arcadia Knight if it was, a bog. 2.735. I thought it was a decent little race.
Yeah, I think so too, and I do agree with you in regards to Cherry Can Run. Probably the heavier the better there as far as she is concerned. Look, I settled on Arcadia Knight, but I'm not really bullish about the race. I think that Famous Dane is certainly the danger to it, but I'm very, very respectful of More Than Enough, who comes through those same form references, as many of them do. Cherry Can Run probably makes my fourth best in it there, but again, the money around for Great Fortune would suggest after passing a vet's check and then getting no luck, didn't trial before the first up run to Supernatural, that it's better than it showed on return, as we well know. 7-2, 13-8 for the fifth. First leg of the quaddie. Might need to build up a few extra numbers there, TC.
Yeah, 2, 4, 7 and 5 for me. Number 2 on top for reasons outlined, Famous Dane. I thought the danger was actually Stylish Lord, so probably goes to the point that you gentlemen are making, that it is a wide open race. Proven in this grade, 1600 at 66 plus last preparation when narrowly beaten by a Blazing Emerald. Gets Stephen Parnham back on board. Deeper into the preparation after a freshen up, should be fit and ready to go. Next best, number 7, Arcadia Knight. Just got the tempo to suit first up on that heavy track, so whether or not that situation is going to work out again there today, going to be a long way off them. And then number 5, Great Fortune. The more the track improves, the better for him, but probably needs to find his best form again. Did that last preparation. 2, 4, 7 and 5.
Okay. There's a reasonable variance of opinion view there going into race 5 on the card. So, Matt sets it up for an interesting first leg of the quaddie.
Famous Dane from Diggers, number 2, 7, 3 and 5. Likewise from TC, horse 2, 4, 7 and 5. And Mac is with 7, Arcadia Knight, to beat 2, 13 and 8. At 4 p.m. this afternoon, the Lawn Pride Australia handicap over 1,200, 14, 15 are out. Bayzid peaked at 34, is now at 19. 26 for Russian Sniper, influencing 34. 18 to 14, Kelvinator. Sentimental Bells at 14. $34, Hostile Talk. Celebrity Prince at 20. Did open at 12. 16, Profit Pocket. Want a Winner at $4, in from $5.50. 14, Objectify. Horcrux is 16 into $4.80. 71, Under Influence, and Inner Point to $2.80. Eccentric Nature.
Boy, oh boy, isn't there a flood, an avalanche of backing for Simon Miller's Horcrux in this race, and we see Eccentric Nature return off what I thought was a very, very good trial.
Very good trial.
Diggs?
Horse with a very good turn of foot.
Yeah, okay. The money for Horcrux.
Yeah, good money.
Wow.
I think he's the beneficiary of an excellent gate, and I'm not sure what the intentions are from Simon Miller, but you would think this represents an excellent opportunity for Braden Garth to give this horse a bit of a dig out of the gates and try to hold up. There is speed to his outside in the form of Bayzid. You'd also Kelvinator. Influencing is a horse who potentially fresh might jump and run a little bit, but I thought Horcrux, if he's not leading, he's probably box seating. And we speak about the rail today, fresh pad, Belmont. We've seen him jump, run and run them along previously. TC's third up. He's rock hard fit. I can see why there is some appeal to him.
Did you think it would be to this extent, though? 16 into 480.
No, that's a little bit short for mine. But his best form has been leading. So I dare say, given the opportunity that they'll come up with today with that low draw, and probably you could also argue his best form is fresh. He came back last preparation off a little bit of a freshen off 2 months and was really good and won a really high rating 60 plus. But I think if given the opportunity, Horcrux leads, and maybe that's where the money is. But yeah, too short for me now. Just I'm sort of the opinion maybe a fresher is better for Horcrux.
Okay, and I think fresh is very good for eccentric nature as well.
Especially at this trip.
This sets up beautifully. I love the trial. It's certainly a firmer in the market as well. I do think that these two can nearly quinella the race. I'm leaning a little more towards eccentric nature on the fact that when Grant Alana when they bring them to the races and they've got them tuned up right, boy, oh boy, don't they sting nice and early. And I just tend to think that he probably profiles very much like some of their other winners that have done exactly the same.
Yeah, I think so. The trial was good. Never really got a crack at them in the trial. It was actually a soft hit out for him. So, again, how is he going to be able to absorb a really fast run affair if that is indeed the case? But you're backing Grant Alana to have this horse close to the mark. William Pike was always going to ride this horse, even though he was down as an emergency. He had to wait to get a run, and William quickly went on. So that gives you a little bit of a guide as well.
Yeah, I think it's a good push. 13 from 11 for me. Does that therefore make this 3-year-old Want a Winner the knock in the race?
Where does he get?
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Where does he get? This is the thing. He's not getting anywhere near the top. I wouldn't have thought. He might be able to slide in if Horcrux marches them a bit here. You got Kelvinator and Bayzid who look like they'll come across. They know no other way, really. Maybe Chris is able to slide across and get into that moving line. And from there, he's a nice horse, albeit Horcrux does meet him 2 kilos better for only losing to him fresh.
Yeah, I think he's in a bit of trouble here, Want a Winner. And at $4 here, he's becoming more and more likely to become maybe a lay of the day for some of us in here on the panel this morning. TC?
Yeah, I've gone with the 13 on top, eccentric nature with that speed that Diggers has spoken about. I think he's going to be good enough to get over the top. Sort of reminds me a little bit of Terratif in the fact that they might be sort of reprogramming the horse and realising that he is best as maybe a fresh sprinter at the camp, and hopefully he shows that today. I thought the big price was Sentimental Bell. Now, probably soft 5 as sort of dry as she wants it. I was hoping to maybe a 6 or a 7, and she'd come into this race really well, dropping out of a 72 plus last start, and her form last preparation around Cosmic Crusader, Baby Paris, roped them in, Toropa. All that reads really well. I thought she was the value in the race. 13 to beat 5, 9 Want a Winner, and then 10 Objective Fight, hoping to bounce back to some of her best, but was disappointing last start. 13, 5, 9 and 10.
Was indeed. Had a few little excuses, Objectify possibly, but Diggs, how do you see this one?
Yeah, 13, 11, 9 and 10 for me. I'm with Eccentric Nature fresh from 11 Horcrux. I think he'll be there for a long, long way. 9, Want a Winner and 10 Objectify. 13, 11, 9 and 10.
Yeah, 13 for me as well. Eccentric Nature over 11 Horcrux. I've gone Profit Pocket, no trial, but normally very, very good fresh. So maybe a little value play there. Ahead of number 9, Want a Winner, who I think's in a bit of peril from where it's drawn. And if there is to be a bit of value in the race, certainly to include in the exotics, and maybe a potential blowout, although I'd suggest maybe down the order slightly. There was something in the run of Russian Sniper the other day, I thought, Diggs.
Yeah.
Got held up behind Woburn Gold down there at Bunno.
Got to the line well.
Yeah, I thought it was a nice enough run. And when you're looking at $26 in the market there, it could be an inclusion in your exotics and maybe a little wide leg in that second leg of the quadrella. But 13, 11, 8 and 9 as we take another break after this.
TC 13, 5, 9, 10. Diggers also 13, then 11, 9, 10. Mac has gone 13 as well from 11, 8 and 9. It is 10 to 9.
Welcome back to Inside Running for Winning Rupert, standing at Geisel Park Stud for $6,600.
It's coming up to 5 minutes away from 9 o'clock on Inside Running, and we're down to the last couple of legs of the quaddie today. The Glenroy Chaff Handicap is the third at 4:30. Antique Queen is our scratching there. Matt, let's see what the make and the shape of the market is here on Tab Touch for race 7.
Masamune now into 370 from 480. Californication 26.21. Idyllic Ruler. Soldanel's at 380 from 550. 15 Thermosphere Lad. True Apostle 7. 26 Harbin. Manhattan Strip at 10. 15 Jelly Can Run. Down to 11 Amjad 18. 17 T-Biscuit. Blue Card at 71. And out to 9.50 Carnup Queen.
Okay, well, let's go with you, Diggs, first of all. D-Max Masamune is in 370 and challenged for favouritism here by Steph Vahala's mare Soldanel, who can strike fresh, and they might have just found the key to her last campaign.
Well, she doesn't stay. We've ascertained that now, haven't we? She is a fresh mare. She can be a bit keen, so it'll be interesting to see how she behaves today. We know that she can get that head high and she can be a little bit unruly in her races, but you're right, she's a good fresh mare. She gets the services of William and she gets to the races today, fresh TC off the back of a very, very impressive trial win.
Yeah, the time was nothing to rave about in that trial, but showed a nice turn of foot from back in the field to get over opponents there. Going back last campaign, she did win a Class 3, beating Expelliarmus, and then graduated to a 60-plus, beating Henry the Aviator. I'd probably argue that the form needs to be a little bit better than that to be winning a race like this, which I thought was a little bit deeper, but you get Pike on, she's good fresh. She might just have a few trust issues with me.
That Fluoro Neuro form, though, is decent enough. You know, like he's listed place on multiple occasions.
That's watch me rock form.
Yeah, so it's not bad form. I thought these two, one Metro wins to finish the card, represented an opportunity to get a little bit of value. I think if they march enough here, and there looks to be decent tempo, likes of Idyllic Ruler, Thermosphere Lad, you know, would ensure that they go along at a better than even clip. That will allow Soldanel just to hopefully get comfortable in the run.
Yeah, does that also maybe just take a little bit of the sting out of True Apostle, in as much as that it was a bit keen and over-raced the other day? Is it better there with a hotter speed on and second up from where it's drawn? Chris will go back, gets a little bit of weight relief here. I didn't think it was entirely out of the equation.
No, I agree. I just didn't like the gate. I didn't like the gate for a horse who normally does his best racing when he's in a prominent position.
That might make it the challenge there for True Apostle. TC, let's wrap up race 7.
I've gone for a little bit of value. I'm hoping Thermosphere Lad can bounce back to some of his best form. Now, albeit he's probably going to have to absorb some pressure, but the first up win was really good. I thought 2 starts ago he did a really good job to be only beaten 2.5 lengths by God's Gate after a torrid run. And then hopefully last time, I'm just putting a line through that, hopefully that's shown connections that this horse just needs to be let run. Let his head go, and he doesn't need to find cover, he just needs to be free bowling, and hopefully that'll happen from gate number 1 and the claim of Chanel Cooper there today around the $15, just a little bit of a throw in the stumps in a race I thought was quite wide open. To beat 1 Masamune going really well, 4 Soldanel, we've touched on her, and then number 6 True Apostle, the gate's the sticking point there, but clearly the trial before this preparation, very, very good. 5, 1, 4 and 6.
Did you land there with Diggy?
Soldanel, yeah. I like this mare. I think she might just be one of these European horses who gets better as they get a little bit older as well. I think Steph's unlocked the key to her in the back end of her campaign last time in, suggested that she's better than this company, but she needs to carry the 59 kilos today. So I think she can fresh. The trial was good. 4 on top from 1 Masamune. You know what you're going to get from this horse. Very consistent. 7 Harbin. It's had 2 trials to school up for this. Good gate. I look for him to be doing his best work over the concluding stages. And 14 Carnup Queen. Chopped out of the key stage last start, which was last Saturday. We'll talk about that form out of that race in a second, and was then pretty good late. 4, 1, 7 and 14.
Yeah, I think you can pick the French mare Soldanel, nice and fresh. I'm sure that she'll run very well at her return this afternoon. I like the way that she just started to put things a bit more together and consistently in that last preparation for Steph Vahala. I've got her ahead of True Apostle. I do think that he'll settle a bit better today. He'll drop 1.5 kilos. The gate is a bit of a problem. I'll take that into consideration. But I like the way that it had trialled in the lead up to its first up run. And Masamune, it was just the 60 kilos that concerned me to a degree. And 8, I'm going to put Manhattan Strip in from a low draw there as my pick 4. 4, 6, 1 and 8 to race 7. Thanks, Matt.
So we'll find out how TC's arm is with number 5, Thermosphere Lad, 1, 4 and 6. Diggers with 4 to beat 1, 7 and 14. And Darren is 4, 6, 1 and 8.
Let's go to the last. And the Drummond Golf Handicap sees Frappuccino and Antique Star, numbers 8 and 11, come out of the last leg of the quaddie.
And here, Simply Thinking, 440 from 7, 41 Changing Guard, playing games at 950 from 14, 19 Estimator, Santanova's at 650 in a point, 13 Red Tory, Warrelly Lass 41, 8's out, Spectacular Park 13, Lil Capri 17, 11 out, Cobb & Co's at 19, 6 into 4 Surf Patrol, My Jimmy 12 into 650, and Run for Rob at 91.
Okay, we can make a case note out there for a few in the last quadrilla league as well, TC.
Yeah, I went looking for a little bit of value again. I thought the price, each way price about playing games wasn't too bad in the last on the back of a first up win. Now you do lose Pike, so that's clearly a negative. Second up last preparation, she wasn't too far off all play, which is pretty good form from the gate. I thought she'd get every possible chance to stalk the speed and be pretty hard to beat. Coming out of that form line behind Timeless Gem and also Little Silver has also franked that form line as well. So I thought at around that each way quote playing games wasn't a bad way to go in the last. The last two races from a quaddie perspective are going to be wide open.
Yeah,
number 13, clearly Surf Patrol is going to be hard to beat. Gets a few key weight swings on a few key opposition here. Gets a beautiful run once again. Just needs to break through.
He's belting the door down. He just can't get through it.
No, it's a tight door, tight lock. Simply Thinking 60 from the draw might end up being a little bit sticky, and then number 9, Spectacular Park, I thought maybe could improve from that soft draw, but 3, 13, 1 and 9 each way in the last playing games.
I'm glad you clarified it was a tight lock. Diggers.
I've got a big fat black asterisk alongside
Wow.
playing games. I think she's the best of the day for me.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to make her the best of the day. I thought the first up run was absolutely terrific. And you mentioned Timeless Gem, who's since won again. Little Silver ran second on that race. She was dragged back to last. She never saw daylight in the straight. And she, again, a bit like a Fancy Red as opposed to... not Fancy Red. What am I talking about? I'll get to that in a second. But playing games is a beneficiary of an improving track. We know that she likes better ground than softer ground. And, you know, off what I saw fresh, I have no comprehension as to why she's this price. I just don't get it.
Well, the 13 was the first baffling part of the equation for me, but then now it was into 9.50 this morning, so maybe this is where, in fact, she should have opened up in the market. I think she's one of the chances. You referred to the Timeless Gem form. You can lace that up with Surf Patrol, I suppose, too, can't you? And it's clearly in the market, $6 into $4 there. And you look at the fact that it's been placed to Fancy Red, Simply Thinking going well, Timeless Gem going really well.
Yeah.
Reasonable enough draw, down 2 kilos, form jockey, Tash Faithful aboard. You're sitting not quite on the cusp of each way, but you're somewhere near there.
Yeah. Well, the horse I was referencing was Famous Dane and Arcadia Knight. Arcadia Knight clearly a really, really proficient wet tracker, and this improving track lent me to go the way of Famous Dane and perhaps even steer away from Cherry Can Run in race 5. And for those reasons, I'm looking at this improving track. Hopefully we're close to a 5 by this stage of the afternoon. If that's the case, from this gate with the benefit of run under her belt, I think she's excellent value. So I'm in TC's corner here. 3 playing games from 13. Surf Patrol continues to race consistently. 1, Simply Thinking, going along nicely, has to carry the 60. That's the one knock for me. And 5, Santanova. Again, when this horse comes with a nice gate, invariably runs very well. 3, 13, 1 and 5.
Okay, those are a nice set of numbers in my view as well too, TC. What about you?
Yes, 3, 13, 1 and 9 in the last for me.
Yeah, okay. I'm 13 Surf Patrol. I'm going to go again with Dan and Ben Pearce's 3-year-old. As I say, the 3-year-olds are going really well against the older horses in this latter part of the season. So 13 I've marked. Jumps out of 5 to beat Simply Thinking. Playing games, most definitely, and I'm going to include, as a roughy hope in the last, My Jimmy, number 14. This is a very good trial, Diggs.
Yes, agree.
Very, very good trial. And I just get a sense that, you know, this horse nice and fresh, we might be able to catch him at a bit of value today in the last. So 13-1, 3, 14. Matt?
DC's gone the way of 3 playing games, 13-1-9. So was Diggers number 3 from 13-1, then 5. And Darren is closing with Surf Patrol number 13 ahead of 1, 3 and 14.
Okay, what say you, Digby Beacham? Best bet for the day, Belmont Park on our return.
Race 8, number 3, playing games, $9.50. That will do me.
Playing games, okay. So that's a nice little push there. $9 later on in the day. TC, your best?
2, race 3, number 5, Yorga Pride, and race 5, number 2, Famous Dane.
Okay, I'm going with Eccentric Nature as my best bet for the day. Going to load up there and suggest here that we might be able to get a bit of a result on return to racing. So Eccentric Nature for me, that's in race number 6. Go right down to 13. In the guide with Willie on board. All right, the lay of the day.
Race 3, number 8, Snow God for me.
Rightio, Snow God.
Same for me, not in my top 4.
I'm with Want a Winner. Doesn't quite meet my market profile, but it's got close to it. Trimming into $4. So I'm knocking it from the draw. Just questioning that form as well to a degree. Race 6, number 9, my lay of the day. What's the play in your view there, Diggs?
I've gone a place multi to round out proceedings in the last 3 races. There's a few early in the day that look like they're going to be there and thereabouts, and they're probably a bit shorter than I'd like. So all of these to run top 3, races 6, 7 and 8, Horcrux into Soldanel into playing games, $10.23.
Okay, nice little selection base there, TC.
Just multi up the 2 best, Yorga Pride and Famous Dane, race 3, number 5, into race 5, number 2.
Yeah, forget Return of the Jedi, forget Return of Belmont Park. Let's just go the Return of the Trialers today there for me. I'm going Yorga Pride, race 3, number 5, into race 6, number 13, Eccentric Nature, Ping Ping, and then a place all up off those 2 into My Jimmy at $12 in the last number 14. How does that sort of captivate you?
Oh,
Do you like it?
yeah, over the moon.
Diggs?
Oh, yeah, look, I'm...
Does it get a tick?
Yeah, it does.
If it gets your approval, we can play.
Like a dog with 2 you-know-whats. That happy.
Bowler custard.
Yep. There you go, Mac.
Nice way to end the show. Matt, don't you think?
2 dogs.
2 dogs. Yeah. 2 dogs.
2 dogs, 2 you-know-whats.
2 dogs.
Everyone's happy.
2 Diggs.
Yep.
Oh, no, don't look at me.
I won't.
I don't know.
Let's wrap it all up on that
Let's do
rather
that.
sobering note.
Yes.
Here on Inside Running. Nice to have your company this morning, listeners. I wish I could say the same about TC and Diggs, but anyway, that's what we get left with on us.
Yeah, well, beggars can't be choosers.
No, we can't. No, we can't.
Stiff, you know what.
You enjoy your little
I
trip
will.
down there to the Peel today.
Yes, I go down to the farm, have a look. Yep.
Harvey.
Yes.
See you in the sandpit at Belmont Park with one of the Billy Lids.
Yes, I'll
Have you
just
picked
take
one yet? Who's going? You got a
no,
favourite?
We'll flip a coin when we get home.
You've got a favourite,
Of the
haven't
twins?
you? You've got a
My
favourite.
favourite is one not crying at that time.
And it's a good call too. I agree.
Little rats.
All right. Says the father of the year.
Yeah, father of none.
None.
It's got 4
All right.
words in
Thanks
it.
for your
It's not
company
rats.
today. We're out of here there. We're looking forward to getting back to Belmont Park, and of course there'll be a lot of pre-race meeting action, no doubt, with those that are getting along to the football. Might pop in, watch a couple, then get over to Optus for the, 61st Derby. Between the Dockers home game and West Coast. All right, so plenty to look forward to unpack with racing and footy. It doesn't get much better than that, and the day certainly lends itself to an absolute beauty. It's a crackerjack one to start this Saturday, the 26th of July. Matty McDermott, thanks again to you as well. Once again, we'll be back and calling you in to set the scene from Belmont Park for our second attempt to get this winter season properly underway, with the first event at 12:58, back with more around 12:30.